we are about to set out on a project here to kind of check in with the community. You yourself have been affected. I've been affected. Everyone in our community, everyone in the world in the production has been affected. How are you doing?
Yeah, I have been stopped. I try to plant a lot of seeds in my world to keep business going. And it seems that, if it incentives or work as a switcher operator, RoboCam operator, the Michigan Production Alliance, all the things that I do are stopped in their tracks.
Yeah, I think for me too, most of my work has stopped. And now it's kind of, I don't know if you're in the same position, waiting for checks, things that you've done, you're waiting for the work you were able to do for that money to come back, which is also, I think, psychologically challenging, just waiting.
Right. And I think a lot of people are feeling anxious and wondering how this will end up, because it's profoundly different than a lot of things that people have dealt with before. So we're trying to do these, your suggestion of doing online interviews with people is great. I've called it Michigan Production Alliance check-ins, and people appreciate that. They appreciate that they're actually have been contacted and we're talking. They need to talk. They want to talk. They are very vocal about how they feel.
And I think that's important. That's an important step along the way to allowing people to talk about what they're feeling, because I think that we've talked to people in Grand Rapids, outside Grand Rapids, up in Traverse City, in Flint, in Detroit, and I think it's really good to hear how people in all different parts of the state are doing, because sometimes what we do is actually, can be very isolated. We go to our one job and we don't get a sense of our community at whole. And in times of crisis, it's important.
It's true. It's true. I'm hoping to have a discussion with people about networking and the kind of things that we do. I wrote a book. I probably mentioned it to you back in 2008, and then published an ebook version of it back in 2018. And it's about getting into the business and the kind of things you can do. You don't have to start out as a PA. You can start out in the art department, that sort of thing. And all the advice that's in that book can't help you now, except the parts about learning.
Right.
That's
something that a lot of people have said, and you have mentioned before, is that this is a great time to do a little bit of learning, to read. I mean, whoever has time to really read something that there's a little bit more out there. I mean, I've been reading from Sergei Eisenstein's book a little bit.
Really? Oh.
He's got a lot of interesting. It's very esoteric. Oh. It's extremely esoteric, and he's very drawl and slow. But it's interesting because I never have time for that.
Well, I've read the Russian authors as well, and it can be. It takes all your attention. There are some movies and television shows that take all your attention, but don't lead anywhere. A book, right, I've found is mostly safe.
Yeah, for sure.
Reading. Yeah, I do enjoy reading those. Typically during the working week, I will have to get into a manual, some kind of technical manual that doesn't read like English. So it's actually good to read something that flows.
Yeah. We've been doing these interviews now for about a week, and I wanted to ask you if there's anything that you felt in having these conversations, of course, not giving anything away because they'll be released, but anything that you felt that you get a sense from the talking to everyone.
I'm getting the sense from the people that we've talked with that they have not given up. They're not defeated. This will be a process that has to be gone through, and we'll learn from it. That's the basic idea.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the rise of the telephoto lens. I think you can't shoot. I guess I'm shooting this on a 24 on my end, and I'm like, well, I couldn't shoot this if I had an operator or boom operator here. But if I had a telephoto lens, I could be 6 feet away, which is the circumference I need to be from talent, and then just, there you
That's true. That's a good point. That's a
go. Yeah.
beautiful point. And the online options, the online platforms, they're out there, they're available, they're making themselves available. So I've seen some great things looking around in the world, schools that have had their entire choirs online.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of the people that are, what technology they have available. A lot of the people that I work with and that I've talked to over the past week or so are trying to retool to a point where they can do very small online meetings for agencies and companies for the
Yeah.
year.
And what steps do you think that the union or the government or whoever, do you think someone's going to come in to try to protect freelance workers, or, people like you? Do you think that somebody from on high will try to protect us during this time?
I see things and I've read things in various places about that. FEMA has an option that you have to go through the unemployment insurance agency to get it, but that would allow you to, if you are not a W-2 employee, just 1099s, get something.
Right.
They're going to help you out. Local 38, IATSE, National are all really thinking hard about how to compensate people. The Netflix, I've seen some of the studios like Netflix think about it. I mean, I don't know how much tax Netflix pays, so, out of the goodness of their heart, they could do something, I hope. So, it's something to think about.
Something that we've done with all these people, and I think that's been really important as part of this process, is community organizing. And the work that you've essentially been doing since this all started is you've kind of provided a business like usual, but providing our community via Facebook and, talking. You've probably talked to tons of people on the phone, just kind of providing a sense of normalcy that, like, we're all in this together. And I think that's, like, one of the greatest skills that you have beyond your technical know-how is this kind of sense of, like, fostering our community, which I think is really important. So
I appreciate that. Thanks. Yeah, it keeps me normal too. I mean,
right.
I have to do something, and this is what I do.
Right.
After this, I have to go and help my wife with some issues that she has. She's still working. She's a hand therapist, and she's still got to be technically at work on Tuesday. So how do we deal with that?
And she's doing okay? Like, is she feeling okay?
She's feeling not safe. It's not a great situation. She's great at what she does. She's got she's got the PPE that she can get. We had masks here. She has gloves that they provide, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
And it's not an essential health care issue. It's not, surgery.
Right.
So that's an issue that we're going to have to discuss. But so most everyone I know is not working. If we have to, we're going to find ways to get back to work. And I like we mentioned offline about the bunny suits that we can wear, hazmat suits, and paint them black so we can have our hazmat ninjas working on set.
Right. I can just imagine that now. Imagine the orchestra on one of our gigs. The old orchestra's in black and white tuxedo hazmats and
there you go.
On. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for having this time and making this thing happen on your end.
You're welcome. Thank you for doing it.